All right, it's off grid with Doug and Stacy. I'm Doug, and today we're going to talk about homestead fencing. It's Doug with Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. In this episode, we're going to talk about homesteading and the fences, the different type of fences that you will want to utilize while you're on your property if you're raising livestock. This fence that we have right here is called a woven wire fence, or even if you go to the feed store or wherever you would purchase your fencing in your area, this would be called a woven wire fence. I'm going to show you a picture up close on how they're joined together. So you can see that the wire is actually wrapped around at each intersection, creating a tight bond. And we'll show you other types of fence material that aren't as advantageous as a woven wire fence. Now this fence is referred to as a sheep or goat fence. It's a little over 3 feet high, and we can keep the sheep in and keep predators out with this type of fence. Now what we'll do is we'll go over to one of our other fencing areas, and we'll show you a different type of fence and some of the benefits that it has as well. All right, we just came from the 3 foot high sheep fence. When we originally put that fence in, we knew that we were going to be keeping sheep on the other side of it. Okay, so height really wasn't a problem. On this paddock over here, we were building this to house our alpacas. So we went with the horse fence. It's about 4 feet, a little bit more in height, and this again is the same process of building. It's called woven wire, where each corner of each box is wrapped around, creating a superior fence for strength. Okay, so you want to think about what it is are you keeping in the paddock, or that you want to keep out of the paddock, right? Before you decide on which kind of fence you want to have. When we first built this paddock, we were just keeping the horses on this side because the house is on that side. So we went with 5 rows of barbed wire, which we're going to show you in our next clip. We're going to talk about the uses of barbed wire. And so what we did is we just left the barbed wire on there, and then we just rolled out this fence and put it up. And then we always leave, when you have horses or cows on one side of a paddock and you're using this type of fence, you'll want to leave a row of barbed wire on the very top to deter them from reaching over the top and pushing your fence down while they try to graze on the other side, because no matter what a horse or cow has on this side, they always want what's on the other side. So that'll prevent your fence from getting any damage. Also, in the spring or summer, we're going to be doing some more fence installation, and we're going to talk about why we put like wood post in with T-post, metal T-post. Around here, we usually put about 1 wood post in with every 4 or 5 T-posts. So we'll go 5 T-posts, 1 wood post, 5 T-posts, 1 wood post. And what that does is it gives a little strength to the fence. It also prevents the fence from going up and down with the frost and thaw. You'll notice a lot of times with T-posts, you'll have to go out and straighten them up, lower them, raise them, because the ground's moving all the time. Okay. So again, this is called a horse fence. It's the same process called woven wire, a little taller. We don't have alpacas anymore, so right now we're keeping the sheep in this area as well. And it also, like I said, keeps predators out. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the next piece of fencing that we have, and give you some ideas about that. Now the barbed wire fence is meant for larger type animals. Okay, you wouldn't keep a sheep or a pig or anything like that in a barbed wire enclosure. This will be used for your horses and your cows. Okay, this particular barbed wire fence that we go with is a 4-barb. There's 4 barbs on each barb. On each, you can see at each spot here there's barbs, and there's 4 on each one. Okay, I'll show you a close-up picture of that right now, give you an idea about what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see that there's 4 barbs on there. Now some fences, barbed wire fences, have 3 barbs or even 2 barbs. Okay, a lot of the fences are just like anything else. If you go on the cheap, that's what you get is cheap. We go with the red brand. There's Oklahoma, red brand, many other types of barbed wires, that you can get. but that's the type of that we go with. And we also always like the 4 barbs because it provides a little more, how would you want to say it? They think about it a little more when they go through it. If you have a 2 barb, there's a possibility that when they stick their nose or neck or anything through there, that they could push on a part where there isn't a barb. When you have 4 barbs, you have a higher probability of it poking the animal and then having them to think twice about trying to break through the fence or go around the fence. The other reason why you're using the barbed wire for large type of animals like a horse is because dogs can get underneath. One of the largest problems that you have on the homestead is the neighborhood dog. The neighborhood dog is by far responsible for more deaths of livestock on the homestead than any other predator. Okay, our dogs can go right underneath here. They do often. So you don't want to go with this type of setup when you're you know, trying to keep back maybe like a sheep or goats or a pigs or anything like that, because they'll have babies and their babies will be subject to attack, as well as they can come and go as they please with this type of a setup. So this is basically just for your larger type animals. This is Smokey. He's our buggy horse, and he's a good boy. He's trying to see what's going on over here today. We got a little bit of snow, so I'm going to take you right now and I'm going to show you some other fencing that I have that we're not too keen on, but I want to show it to you so you get an idea about what I'm talking about with the different setups. All right. All right. Now this mess, what I have here is called welded wire. And I'll show you a picture of how these are put together right now. And as you can see, they're basically roboted, spot welded on each corner of each box. Okay. Now a lot of people will use welded wire for maybe a chicken area or something like that. We just have not had any good success with a welded wire. Okay. If you move it a lot, if there's any stress on it at all, it busts apart. I mean, this is the proof in the pudding is right here. This is a welded wire fence that I basically keep on hand right now because I snip these parts off because we like to recycle, reuse on the homestead to keep the cost down. But I'll snip these off if I need some tie wire. So I keep this nappy roll of bad welded wire here just for that purpose. But you can get this again at your local farm and home store or place that sells any kind of wires. And they are okay with some applications. If you're putting in around a chicken area and there's not going to be a lot of pressure on the fence, it'll probably last plenty good. We originally, I was working and we installed the fence in town, and this is what the lady had around it for her dog, and the city didn't like that, so they made her change it. And so I asked her if I could have it, and she said sure. So I started off at first with this around our chickens, but after a while we took it down and we let our chickens open range right now. So we just used it for a few other processes, but just over the time of just kind of moving it around and using it, it just started coming apart. So welded wire is not what you would use for any type of secure environment for sheep or goats or pigs or anything like that. If you're going to use it for chickens, that would probably be okay. But this is the welded wire, so I wanted to give you see how that looks too. All right, guys, so that wraps it up. We just talked about some different fencing options that you can use on your homestead. We're standing back over by the sheep fence, which is usually around 3 feet or give or take a little bit. Then we had our horse fencing, which is over 4 feet, give or take a little bit, and those are called woven wire. It's pretty much the best, most secure fence you can get as far as keeping in livestock and keeping predators out. Also, we showed you the barbed wire. It was a 5-strand barbed wire, which means we had 5 rows of barbed wire going across the area with a 4 barb, which is very good for keeping horses in and the cattle in, larger animals. And then we showed you the woven wire, which really shouldn't be used up against like a sheep house or goats or pigs or anything, but it's good for maybe around the chicken house, something that doesn't have a lot of activity pushing on the fence. So that's not too bad, but ultimately, it's not going to last as long. So hopefully this was informative to you as you're planning out your homestead or thinking about different ways that you can do your fencing. If you got any questions, just leave them down in the comments section. We'll be glad to answer them for you. Again, this is Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and I'm Doug, and we'll catch you on the next episode.